Hello everyone, welcome to our Flashback Friday game, and great to have you with us once again. This time we're going with the men's. It's going to be Hobart taking on Mount Gambier. This was a round 7 game back in the 2018 SCABL season. Now, going into this game, Hobart were 4th on the ladder. They had a 5-2 record, and their last 5 games were 4-1, and were on a 4-game winning streak. Mount Gambier were 9th on the ladder, and they were 3-3, and their last 5 were 3-2. Joining me in this game for commentary once again is none other than Glenn Fairfield. Glenn, welcome.
Yeah, it should be a good game to go back in time, and I can't remember the result of this one, so it's good. But both teams really look like they've got a lot of talent, so it's good to wind back and see the Chargers of old.
Yes, it's great that we're doing these Flashback Friday games for you while there is no NBL 1 currently at this point in time, and nor will there be any NBL 1 for this year. So 2021 is when we're next back on board. And so we're just going to keep bringing you a lot of Flashback Friday games. And more than likely we'll hit some more games from 2018. We'll look to go a little bit more deeper as well too over the coming months. But let's take you now to the start of the game where the players are shaking hands, and we'll take it from there. Also too, folks, I just want to let you know that there is no kind of background audio to this filming of this game as well too. So unfortunately, when we did film this game back in 2018, we had it on the wrong audio channel. So you'll hear some background noise right near towards the end of the game. So we do apologise for that. So we'll try to talk as much as we can, Glenn, throughout the majority of the game. So we've got Craig Moller and Lewis Thomas in the jump, and the referee there just getting a little bit pedantic. But he'll throw this one up, and we are underway. It's going to be Mount Gambier going to the left of your screen, have controlled the tip. Burden down low into Jameson, and then deflected by White, but Mount Gambier get it back. Ball getting moved around here. Jameson. Now Burden, the former Perth Wildcats player. And good defence by Terry Masunda, and the Chargers will bring it up the floor.
It's good to see Lewis Thomas back in Hobart playing against the Hobart Chargers. He is a well-respected former Charger player and has a lot of fans still to this day. I know there's a few that come over from Tasmania and watch him play in the mainland, and they support him when he comes here. So he's got his little fan base here as well, which is nice to see that the former players are appreciated by the crowds that they used to play in front of down in Hobart.
And Lewis, a bit of a fan favourite back in 2017 when he had his one season with the Hobart Chargers. So good to see Lewis back with us here. Musunda nearly turns it over and does, but gets it back and then misses his layup. He won't be happy with that as the ball comes down the floor through Tippin and puts it up over Moller. Can't get that one to go. White with the rebound. Nichols now with it as the Chargers try to respond back in kind. Musunda on the 45 drives all the way. Has to go to Muo, but again, ball deflected. Thomas now with it. Thomas goes all the way, and good hands there by Zach White. Or was there a foul on the play? Stewie doesn't seem happy on the call. It looks like it's going to be a foul on Zach White.
It started off as a fast place. There's been a Terry Masunda. It's not like him to get a turnover. He's got really good handles, so I don't think Anthony Stewart would have been happy with the way that Terry tried to start his offensive game off and then missing a layup. So that's something that you just don't see Terry Masunda do that often.
Yeah, Lewis Thomas misses his first free throw. So Lewis Thomas, usually a pretty good commodity from the free throw line, has been working his backside off, trying to get an NBL gig, knocks down the second free throw there.
He was pretty unlucky not to get an NBL gig after his time in Hobart. He really did play well down here, and then he continued on playing for the mainland team. So there's so much talent out there at the moment, and who knows, depends his age as to whether when a Tassie team comes along as to whether he'll still be in that right age bracket or, so he definitely deserved an opportunity. He's done all the hard yards, as a lot of other players have in this league as well.
So Nichols went for the drive. He got it rejected out of bounds. So Chargers will get the ball back here. Muo, we're now White, looking for Nichols and gets it to him now. Back to White for three to get Hobart score underway. Can't get it to go. Thomas with the rebound, and the Pioneers will come down here through Conrad. The Illawarra Hawks player puts up the three. Can't get that one to go. Thomas with the kind of a slap kind of rebound and went to Moller instead. Moller got fouled on the play and Hobart to get it back.
Yeah, so that foul was on Eric Burden, so his first foul for the game. So there's a lot of talent on the floor.
Oh, there certainly is some good talent out there tonight. You have Luke Jameson, former NBL development player. Lewis Thomas is on the verge of being an NBL development player. Eric Burden, a former Perth Wildcats player. Timmy Conrad with the Illawarra Hawks as well too. So fair bit of talent on the floor. Nichols, talking about talent, Trey Nichols with a three to get us going.
Big three-pointer, and Trey Nichols really had a great season in 2018 and obviously helped the Hobart team win the championship.
And Thomas with the response goes all the way and gets the two, and he'll go to the line for one. A quick play right back at the Chargers there from the Pioneers.
And it's great to see the Mount Gambier team is an all-Australian team, and they're obviously very competitive as well. So they're coached by Richard Hill, and they've also got a great player in Brad Hill who's injured in this game, who's an NBL player as well.
Yes.
So, but what a great program Mount Gambier are able to program they're able to put together with all locals. So it's really going to pay dividends for that association and the players in the next few years as well.
So Moller now Masunda putting on some moves over Jameson, but then Jameson equal to it, and ball went out of play. Hobart get it back. 7 left on the shot clock. 14. Sorry, Glenn. It's gone to.
It's gone back to 14.
Gone to 14.
Terry Masunda's speed is he's still back then. Even now, he's still one of the fastest players, quickest players in the league, and he can go left or right. So hopefully, Terry, as the game goes on, he'll be able to capitalise on a few of the drives that he's been able to get. As Craig Moller gets a nice 2 points inside. He's been a fantastic acquisition for the Hobart Chargers, and it's great to see Craig do some great things in the NBL, and also to be able to make an Australian squad in 2018. So for all the hard work that he put in NBL and then in Siebel, he was rewarded with a spot in the Australian team. So well done to Craig Moller, and what a fantastic sort of person. Fantastic person as well as a talented basketballer he is.
Absolutely. Conrad made the two there. We'll get to Moller's Australian gig later on in the game as Musunda now goes inside to Muay. Muay down low, one-on-one with Burden. Got double team, kicks it out. Now back to Musunda. Good fake by Thierry. Puts it up and gets a little right-hand layup to go.
Very smart player, Thierry Musunda. Just got his player up in the air and finished off a nice, easy layup. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be see if Madiang Mu gets on fire in this game, because when he gets on fire from outside, no team can stop him in the league. So hopefully Mu can have a big game for Hobart as well.
So Musunda thought about cross-court, couldn't. Now Muo, now wide inside, and the one-hand jam. And President David Bartlett, they're happy with that one in the president's box.
It's really good the role that Zach White plays as an importer. He doesn't come out and get 30 points a game. He comes out and get his 12, 15 points a game, his 10 rebounds, and he's just one of those players that every team needs to have, and always entertaining with the big dunks.
Burden for three. Now, if he can get going, he's a very good three-point shooter. Musunda needs numbers in support, has to retreat back. White, Nichols. So Nichols gets the on-ball from Moller. Nichols penetrates inside, goes over Thomas. Crafty move by Trey Nichols.
He had a great season, didn't he? He's hard to stop. Every team in the league really found it difficult to try and slow Trey Nichols down in 2018. And he's gone on to play all around the world, and it was great that the Australian public were able to see him play here. As Craig Moller, looks like he got a charging foul.
Yes, an offensive foul's been called on Craig Moller.
Nice defence there.
So, close game at the moment. We don't have the scores at the moment for you. But we will endeavour to get to that if we do get a timeout. We usually do. So the camera operators for Chargers do zoom to the score tables monitors and check the score line. So, but we know it's a close game so far from both ends of the floor here. So ball now with Tippin. Back to Jameson. Now Burden. Thomas for three. Just long. Nichols with a rebound. and Hobart come down to the other end now. As Nichols putting on some moves and gets it up. Can't get that one to go. Rebound there by Conrad. Conrad now to Tippin. Tippin has to kick it out. Jameson.
Defense. Good defense.
Oh, a charge there called. But well picked up, Glenn. I was very focused on the play there, so good pickup.
And again, Zach White, that's another asset that Zach White brings to the team, is that he can just read the play so well. So he knew that the offensive player had thrown the ball to his teammate to get an open shot. However, he was set, took the charge, and the referee had no choice but to call an offensive foul. And it's good to see, as we see the Doing Entertainment Centre, the home of the old Cascade Tassie Devils here. This is the start of the season. By the end of the season, this stadium is near packed.
Oh, absolutely. As Mio knocks down the 2, it pretty much led to that build-up, Glenn, and we'll try to get to that probably during a free throw. I know what you're saying, though. As the drive goes up by Conrad, gets it to go, and he'll go to the line for 1.
He's really impressive, Tim Conrad, in this level, at Seabull level, but also in NBL level. He's he's adjusted so well to playing a great role with Illawarra. And I'm not sure if he played with any other NBL teams, but he does his part and he just gets better and better every year. So it's great to have someone like Tim Conrad on, showing his skills in front of the Hobart crowd.
So Conrad completes the 3-point play, and it's a back and forth first quarter here. Both teams exchanging the lead, no doubt. So Muo he tries to go for a bit of a. Well, it looked like it was he got the layup there, though, Glenn. He looked like he tried to fake and try to bite, but couldn't get it to go first time. Then drove to baseline, and the ball goes out of play. And
that's the basket's Moo wants to get in, to get his confidence up. But if he can take it inside, then it makes it easy for him to shoot outside, because the defense will have to get up on close on him as Jack Stamix comes in. So
sees his first court time. So Terry Masunda.
Terry Masunda, just have a break and see how young Jack Stamix goes. He's a very talented young player with quite a very good ball skills, both hands, can shoot the lights out. But in this role, he's an 18-year-old, getting some minutes, getting some experience, and giving the experienced Terry Masunda a break. So
as Nichols goes for 3, can't get that one to go. Thomas had the rebound, and White knocked it out of his hand. So Mount Gambier to get it back. So we're just on I think it looks like about 3 or so minutes left in this first quarter. We do get a bit of a look at the game clock from the top of that monitor there with the shot clock on display. So Conrad, now Burden, fake, then puts it to the floor. Conrad for 3. Yes, Tim
nice
Conrad.
Shot. Great play, good ball movement, a lot of screens, and Anthony Stewart is not happy at all there.
Not sure what he was complaining about there, but meanwhile, good shot by Timmy Conrad as Nichols puts it to the floor, goes baseline. Big kick out to Jack Stanwicks. Stanwicks puts it to the floor, tries to go for it, but Burden equal to the chance defensively. Play quickly down the middle. It's good. BJ Ratcliffe rejected that one as Kane DeWitt tried to go all the way, but BJ says, not in my house, son. And
nice
whacks it out.
Block. As Jack Stamix comes off and Geordie Hargrave comes into the game.
So Stewie's running his bench here very early on in this first quarter, Glenn.
Yeah, I just think that that's obviously not long left in the first quarter, and Stewie really wants to obviously get him in there. I think that Jack Stamix probably deserved a bit more time in that play, although he made that turnover, unfortunately, but looked like there was a lot of contact there.
Yeah, Stewie wanting a foul here, but referees didn't see it that way.
It's good to see the coaches, wanting to protect their players so much. So Anthony Stewart's a very passionate coach, as there's many passionate coaches in the league, and he doesn't want his players to get fouled and no calls being made.
So Muo with it now, fakes, goes all the way, puts it up, gets it to go, and he'll go to the line for 1. I think the foul might have been on Kane DeWitt there, and Mafang Muo.
He started off really well in this first quarter, hasn't he? He's only hit the one outside shot, but he's a deadly 3-point shooter, but he's done all right. He's taken the ball inside on at least 2 occasions thus far, and he's at the line for 1 shot.
So now something up there. So Not exactly sure what's going on, but I think we're okay now.
I think the Hobart player walked in as Moo had the ball in his hand, so it was BJ Ratcliffe, I think it was. So as Moo gets the foul shot in, so Hobart have had a really good first quarter, but however, in saying that, Mount Gambier have responded quite well and playing really well, a really good teamwork, I should say.
So ball with Burden now. Shot clock at 10 for the Pioneers. Turnover here. No, Conrad got it back. Has to kick it out. Thomas with the fake. Goes through.
Good drive.
And the jam. Lewis Thomas with a one-hand jam.
That was a great play, wasn't it? And, he's got a lot of skill, and it was great to see him. Yeah, I think from the top of the key, once he got past his direct opponent, I thought he was going to jam it. I didn't know he was going to jam it.
And he did.
He knocked it down. So great work there from Lewis Thomas.
So Nichols goes through a couple. Can't get that to go. Conrad able to pull that one in, but then good hustle there by young Geordie Hargrave. And then now ball back with Conrad as Hargrave once again putting his body on the line there. But Conrad banks the shot off the window. That's what you expect from the veteran Tim Conrad.
That's exactly right. And he does that stuff in the NBL, so it's really good. It's going to be hard to stop in the league below in the Seaboard level. So it's exciting to see Tim Conrad, play in this level in Hobart. And also I guess in the future moving forward, there's so many more NBL players that are now playing in Seaboard or NBL 1 as we can call it in 2020. The standard of competition is really good. And you have a look at this Hobart, the first five for Hobart. It's like almost an all-star team in Seaboard. They really are a great, talented bunch, and you can see why they went. They won the championship with the talent that they had on the floor. So
Muo restarts us off. Shot clock at 12. Muo over DeWitt, just long. Hargrave shots coming for the rebound. Couldn't get that one to go. Tippin. Now back to Conrad and goes for another three and gets to the go. Tim Conrad with another basket.
Yeah, he's in the zone now, which is good to see. So hopefully Tim Conrad continues this in the second quarter as he started off really well, and he's hard to stop inside. He's going inside and outside, so he's making it very difficult for his Hobart opponents at this stage.
So Muo puts it to the floor. Has to go over the top there. Can't get it to go. Chamberlain with the rebound. Now Tippin once again. Bringing it down the floor here for the Pioneers. Now Conrad just nearly lost a hand on it, but gets it back. Puts up another shot. Can't get that to go. Hargraves with a rebound. And now Masunda splits through a couple. Goes up and can't get that one to go either. Ball gets knocked out, but Tippin there to recover. And the Pioneers will come back down the floor.
And that was a good drive by Terry Masunda. Unfortunately it didn't go in. However, he's capable of making those drives, and he's hard to stop. So I think it's another offensive weapon for Hobart, and his teammates have got to crash the boards in case his shots don't go in.
Final play here in the first quarter. Masunda goes all the way, gets it up, can't get it to go. And was it a goaltend there? Could have well been a goaltend. Richard Hill not sure about the call, but quarter time is done, and it is a 1 point lead to Hobart, 20-19.
I wasn't sure about that goaltend there, and I definitely know that Coach Richard Hill of Mount Gambier was not sure, and he's still not sure about it. But the referees were closer, and whether it was on its way down, if it was 2 points it counted, it was 2 points it counted. I'm sure that Richard Hill will move on from that play. So we've got Cam Brown coming into the game for Hobart as we start the second quarter. I think probably the only thing I've noticed with Mount Gambier is that they tend to shoot a lot outside, but they don't. Lewis Thomas is the only real big that they've got to go and crash the boards, because Tim Conrad's such an offensive threat, and he's the one that's shooting outside. So I think Lewis Thomas needs a bit more help inside and on the boards.
As Zach White gets fouled by Kane DeWitt there on the 3-point shot, and Zach White will go to the line for three. I just want to come back to your point about the crowd, Glenn. So we've got an opportunity here. So throughout the year, the crowds have kept building up, as you're saying. We've got to give credit to, obviously, David Bartlett and his board at that current point in time back in 2018.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job promoting the
great
Chargers,
job,
didn't they?
because when we got to the preliminary final in 2018, we had a couple of these black curtains in the background gone, and we had spectators in those seats. So
it was like almost back at the Devil's days, wasn't it?
Well, that's right, Glenn. Excuse me, folks, for that cough. Yeah, absolutely. And if you build it, they will come, as they say. So, yeah, which was an awesome night, and we're hoping to play that game at some stage down the track. Zach White, I think, made 2 out of 3 there, or 3 there, Glenn.
At least 2.
Yep. So, ball coming down now here for Mount Gambier. So, Hobart have a lead of at least 3 points or 4 points here in the start of the second quarter. Burden with it now. He's 1-on-1 with Masunda. Thomas. Now Tiffany. And now back to Thomas. Lost it.
Great little steal there from Trey Nichols.
And Nichols works his way through, puts it up, and, well, he got a bit of an assist there from Craig Moller, but we might give the 2 there to Trey Nichols.
Yeah, he did all the hard work, although the dunk was a nice little polish off from Moller just to make sure it went in.
So Conrad, back to Thomas here. So good start by the Chargers in this second quarter as we're coming to you from the Dern Entertainment Centre here in Hobart. As Conrad for 3, and the fire's not out yet. He's still on fire here, Tim Conrad.
And why Conrad's hitting those outside shots, they don't need the people in the rebounds. But, like, you know, as I say, and I've noticed it, that it might just be the structure, the offense that they run, is that Luke Jamison and Lewis Thomas seem to be outside a fair bit, setting screens and then posting up. So when there is a shot outside, like you'll see in a sec, there's no rebounders inside. And Hobart are getting the defensive rebounds. So I think that's a big adjustment that Mount Gambier, if they could make that adjustment, then it's going to help them a lot in the offensive end, picking up a few offensive boards.
So good ball movement there. Masunda goes for 3 and knocks it down. Terry Masunda with a 3-pointer.
And Terry Masunda's another great Seabull player. Very unlucky not to play in an NBL team, as a backup guard. He was pretty unlucky not to get a short-term contract a number of years back. But he gives his heart and soul to the Hobart team as Lewis Thomas gets another 2 points. And I just think the good thing about the Terry Masundas of the world, and, we're talking about, I guess, any guard that's coming through Seabull when they're getting on a bit, is they're able to pass on such valuable knowledge to the young guys coming through the program. So. And
Zach White just hit a mid-range 2 there, Glenn. So Hobart certainly putting the points on in this second quarter here.
It's been a very entertaining game thus far. It's been very offensive-minded.
So ball with Tippene. Now Thomas and Burden. Good pass back inside of Thomas on the back door. Has to kick it back out. Now Tippene for 3. Not there. Nichols with the rebound. And Hobart will bring it down the floor here too.
And it looks like Mount Gambier didn't bring a massive number of players down to Tasmania for this road trip. We haven't had too many subs, although there's going to be a sub and a sec for Kane DeWitt coming in.
Yeah, Kane DeWitt coming in for Kyle Tippene. They only brought 8 on this road trip, Glenn. So as per Seabull history, some away teams only bring 8 or 9 on the road, usually, just because of the cost of flights and the team budget, etc.
And it's such a tough road trip, the Tasmanian.
Yes, it is.
Road trip, it's the Hobart are a very established team in the league, but also Northwest Thunder. They've got a great crowd, and they always generally have really good teams and tough teams. So I think if teams come away with 1-1, they're pretty happy to get away from Tasmania with a win and a loss. And if they get 2 wins from a road trip, they'd be extremely happy. And one of the teams that would be fortunate enough to pick up 2 wins, as it wouldn't happen that often.
Sam Yule into the game for the first time, trying to get that pass to Moller, but Moller couldn't reel it in, and ball went out of play. So Mount Gambier to get it back here. As we're a few minutes in already in the second quarter at the DEC. So DeWitt coming down the floor now, gives it to Burden. Burden thinks about his options, now goes back to DeWitt, now Jameson, now Conrad. So the ball getting moved around a fair bit here. 10 left on the shot clock. Conrad with the turnaround jumper.
Nice play, Tim Conrad. As we said, he's all class. We knew that before the game, before he come down to Hobart to play this game. And, I think he's quietening the Hobart crowd down a fair bit.
Yes, he certainly would be, Glenn. And not a big crowd here tonight.
Not that we can hear him, but...
No, but I could tell you on the night we could hear him as Craig Moller puts it up. We certainly heard him in the last quarter, that was for sure. We'll come to that later. Burden with the fake. Gives it to Conrad for another 3. Can't get that to go. Moller pulls down the rebound. And Moller is off and running. Jameson takes the floor.
Charge.
Now, is that an offensive foul? It is. So Moller picks up another foul.
Nice defence there. Craig Moller didn't appreciate the call. However, when we look at it on video, it appeared that the defensive player was in the right position and a good call was made. So it's good to see Sam Newell as well getting some minutes and giving the starting guards a break. Sam Newell has a lot of talent. He's really good both hands. Very good local player, represented Tasmania at Nationals.
Yes.
I think he played for Tassie and they got silver at the Australian under.
He was part at under 20.
Under 20s, lost to Victoria in overtime or double overtime by a point.
Yes,
so.
and one of the classic under 20 men's finals you will see in our lifetime.
Yeah, so Sam Newell, he's got a lot of experience and it's good to see him out on court here showcasing that as Conrad.
Foot violation? I'd say foot violation. Try to cross over on Muo, but Muo has big feet. So
he does have big feet.
So Burden to inbound here. 16 left on the shot clock here for the Pioneers. As Jameson now back to DeWitt. DeWitt, good pressure there by Zach White. And then Sam Ewell with some good pressure as well too. And I think Hobart are going to get it back. So great job there defensively by the Chargers.
And Hobart do have a very good defensive team. And the subs, Sam Newell, Cam Brown, fantastic defensive players. Cam Brown just puts his, as number 14, he puts his body on the line and, he's able to shut someone down. So it's really good to see Hobart just aren't an offensive team. They work really hard in defence and beautiful
Nice pass
there from Zach White.
Beautiful work there by the Chargers. Good cut there by Cam Brown, and Zach White just recognised that nicely.
Yeah, and that obviously was a structured, clear a play that they run. So Zach White knew that Cam Brown was going to be there, and
foul on the play. Looks like, and Cam Brown put his hand up, so he's claiming the foul there.
Yeah, so it's good to see subs on both teams really playing their part, coming in and. The team's not losing anything when the subs are coming on. They're coming in, playing their roles as I think Mount Gambier are now having a sub with Luke Jameson coming out and Kyle Tippin back in. So they're just trying to give a few of the players a bit of a break early on in the game. As it looks like it's going to be a super close game from what we see. It's just a matter of whether Hobart are able to slow Tim Conrad down at this stage. And there's a beautiful backdoor play there that he didn't quite get the ball, but I think Conrad just needs a bit of help and some other players need to...
Conrad with another 3 and he gets fouled. I think that amazed a co-commentator, Glenn Fairfield, there is a bit of silence. BJ Radcliffe coming into the game, but Conrad will go to the line for a potential 4-point play.
And it looked just like as I saw that play there, I knew he was going to shoot, but I just think he does need some help if... he's not going to be able to... I hope he shoots like this all the game because it's very impressive and it's great to see. But he does need some help as a Lewis Thomas is... he's a good helper with it, but also I think the guards, if you can get a couple of 3 or 4 of them into double figures, Conrad looks like he's going to get a 30-point game at this stage.
He's on track,
He's
Glenn.
in the zone, so...
My word, he is. So he gets the 4-point play. That's good work there.
And Anthony Stewart would not be happy with that play. You do
definitely
not foul people on a 3-point shot. You put pressure on them, but you don't foul. So Anthony Stewart would be scratching his head and probably talking to the player that fouled and making sure that doesn't happen again.
So Nichols, Hobart will try to respond down this end of the floor. Nichols goes for, looks like a 2, might have been a 3. We're not sure. We'll have to get some confirmation there, but Nichols knocks down the shot.
It looked like he was inside, and Trey Nichols is a fantastic individual, one-on-one player. He's very hard to stop. And, whether, it doesn't matter how big they are, he's just so quick. He's got that, and he can go left or right. So,
Kane DeWitt knocks down the 3.
So, the shooting has been a highlight of this first half thus far, and whether both teams can keep this up. I think Hobart probably look at going inside a bit more when Moller gets back on the court.
Samuel for three, not there. Thomas with the rebound. And now Tippene comes down the floor. Thomas barrels through a couple. Burden for three and gets to the go. No call there, but Eric Burden with a three.
Yeah, so since I sort of said they've all got to step up, they've all sort of done it. And Lewis Thomas has got a number of rebounds, so he's working really hard at both ends of the court. As Zach White gets fouled
on the play. Zach White was going to go upstairs over Thomas there, but Thomas was right up there with him, but he got a bit of arm contact.
Lewis Thomas thought that it was pretty clean. However, he is such a gentleman that he doesn't complain about anything. So
he won the most nicest blokes you ever meet, Glenn, I must say. Richard Hill having a few words with the ref there. But, yeah, no. Every time we chatted to Lewis back in 2017, he was lovely. And, of course, after this game, when we did a post-game interview with him, he was for some reason very apologetic to us because we wanted to have an interview as Zach White knocked down the first, but he did give us his time, and that was much appreciated by us and him.
Oh, very good. Zach White, that was a big attempt, so Zach White's had a good start to the game thus far, although he missed that foul shot. But
so one
that
and
was
two.
A good dunk attempt that he did try, and I think it was really good of Lewis Thomas to give up that foul and stop 2 points, and he got 1 from 2, so it worked.
So Jameson now goes to Conrad. Conrad, who's had the hot hand in this quarter, goes over BJ Radcliffe and keeps the scoring going.
So if Hobart are going to win this game, they need to stop Tim Conrad because he is in a zone at the moment. And his teammates are really looking for him and trying to make his one-on-one game.
Muo with the response down the other end too, Glenn.
Yeah, and he can shoot with the best of them in the league. And if he's on fire and the game's on the line, Hobart get the ball to Moo. So he's
Lewis Thomas with a two-hand jab coming through traffic.
This is a highlight game, this one, isn't it? It's very good to see. So the crowd would be enjoying this. And you could see that both the crowd were actually clapping who was it? It was Lewis Thomas, sorry, as he got that dunk. So they appreciate all the skill that he sort of did. And he's got probably 2 or 3 dunks now? Yeah,
he's having a good first half at the moment and seeing the rim like a hula hoop. Jameson, now Thomas. DeWitt goes middle, has to kick it out. Tippene for 3 and rattles that one home. And Zach White can't believe it.
So Hobart at half-time are going to have to readjust their defence. I think that is half-time.
Muo for 3. No. We've still got probably a couple minutes left in this second quarter, Glenn. There's no coaches have called any time out yet, so we haven't had a chance to see the monitor.
I don't think Anthony Stewart would have been very happy on that last one where Moo should have shot a 3-point attempt and there was no one on his team within the 3-point area or within. So Anthony Stewart likes structure, and
Moller over the top there and gets that one to go.
And what a great season Craig Moller had. He could play inside, outside. I think the time that he had at Hobart really helped his all-round game. And
Lewis Thomas again with another jam. Flies by Moller, and Anthony Stewart has seen enough. He calls time out. And let's get a look at the scoreline now, Glenn. It's 45 playing 42. Mount Gambier are up by 3.
It's. I think that Anthony Stewart will be talking to his team about defence now. So first off, they did a great job, and I know when we talked about Mount Gambier probably needing to get on the offensive boards and help each other out. Well, since that was spoken about from us guys, it appears that that's exactly what has happened. So, and Hobart's defence has just been too lacklustre. They've got to identify who the potential dangers are and put a hand on them, and not try to jump in the air to block a shot. Actually, be there and put pressure on them before they shoot the ball, because they're in a zone at the moment. Like Tim Conrad is just shooting off the charts. You got Lewis Thomas taking it inside and jamming whenever he can, and the other players in the team, the guards, are doing a fantastic job now, so they've really stepped up. So it just makes for an exciting second half.
It certainly does, Glenn. So 1:23 left in this second quarter, and no doubt, from a fan aspect, this is a very entertaining game. We've seen threes, we've seen dunks, we've seen
This is a great
everything.
game. And I was at the game. So
We
I
were all at the
remember-
game, Glenn.
I remember because every dunk, like it doesn't matter who dunks, the Hobart crowd appreciate it.
Oh, my word, they do.
You know, they're just so passionate about basketball that, you know, the other thing too is unless it makes Hobart lose, but if someone's having a really good individual game, they'll get the applause of Hobart, whereas you can get to other stadiums and it's dead silent.
Yes.
But, you know, and that other teams like Mount Gambier, you go to Mount Gambier and that stadium is off the show.
Absolutely.
Like, the atmosphere is brilliant. So, you know, they're playing in a big stadium here, whereas they pack out their 1,800 to 1,000-seat stadium and, like, doesn't matter what call it is, the crowd's just so passionate for Mount Gambier. So, but great to see him on the road. This has been an exciting game thus far, and especially against such a talented Hobart team. Mount Gambier are playing brilliantly thus far.
So Craig Moller got fouled on the play there on the turnaround jumper. So Craig Moller will go to the line for 2 to try to get this back to 1-point ball game as he shoots and gets that one to go. So Moller pretty good from the line so far tonight.
Would have been interesting to see what Anthony Stewart said of that last time out, I reckon.
Would have been some interesting words being thrown around, I reckon, Glenn, as Moller knocks down a second. So 45-44 is our scoreline. And we're just on probably about a minute to go here in this second quarter now. As Burden back to Jameson there. Jameson goes backdoor to Conrad. Beautiful play by the Pioneers.
They've got some really good structured offences, haven't they? They work well together. And as we said, it's an all-Australian team, which is just fantastic to see. And, you know, they're going to be competitive against every team, I'm sure. Win, lose or draw, they're going to put on a good show.
Trey with the tough shot going over the top there, and Nichols with the 2 points.
And Nichols could just, as we said, he can take anyone one-on-one. He's not the tallest player on the court, but he's got some hops. He's got so much skill.
Luke Jamieson there couldn't get that one to go. And the Chargers now selling the play. It looks like this is the last play of the quarter, Glenn. As I said, the referees kind of signal the one, which means we've got one play left, I reckon. So Nichols, he might go for an isolation here, looking for the on-ball from White. Nichols, thought about it, has to go to White down low. White kicks it out. Radcliffe for the 3, not there. And that will take us to half-time as a shot misses there, but half-time sees Mount Gambier with a 1-point lead. They lead it 47-46.
Very good first half of basketball. Very entertaining for the crowd. The referees have let the play go. I think it's been good to see Anthony Stewart, Hobart Chargers coach, a bit animated at times, a bit frustrated, and also that's just how he is because of the passion that he has for the game. So he just wants. He knows his players can slow down the Mount Gambier offense. However, they haven't been able to do so thus far.
So Mount Gambier started us off in the second half. Conrad for a 3, and he continues. He's red-hot shooting form.
Well, I think they've got to really adjust their defense, as I'm sure Anthony Stewart would have talked about at half time. But you can't get Conrad that open for a shot because he's not going to miss. So they need to put more pressure on someone that's shooting lots of points. That was a beautiful shot there.
It was.
Is that Burden?
No, Tipene.
No, Tipene.
As Nichols now comes down the floor, kicks out to Masunda. Now Moller. Moller for 3. Yes, knocks it down. And Craig Moller brings this Hobart crowd alive a little bit.
And what a fantastic player he was for, he's been for Hobart. And, just for the league in general, to have someone of his calibre. And also to allow, we're able to watch Craig Moller grow as a player. He came to Hobart when he was as an NBL player, and he just got better and better. So it's great to see him in the future still in the NBL and putting on such a good effort here. Because he's hard to stop if he gets on a roll as well.
Oh, trying to go for back-to-back triples. Couldn't get that one to go. Conrad had missed the 3 down the other end as Moller showed a hand. Now Tipene comes down and gives it off to Conrad. Conrad, quick turnaround, Jay, and he's still on fire.
So Anthony Stewart does have to make some adjustments because Tim Conrad is just destroying every one of the Hobart opponents that he's had on him thus far.
Oh, nice play there. Nichols into White for the 2.
Great play. Trey Nichols has got such good vision. and Zach White can read the play so well. So that was a nice, easy basket from Hobart. But it really comes down to defence now. So they've still got Moller on Conrad.
And Moller's gone on to Burton.
Oh, no, he's changed now. So they've got Trey Nichols on Conrad, which is...
That will be an interesting matchup as we go along, Glenn, as Nichols comes down the floor now. Nichols puts it up and gets it to go.
Beautiful drive.
Nice drive by Trey Nichols.
I think Nichols was the second leading scorer in the Seaboard in 2018.
He was right up there in the point scoring, Glenn, when it came to the averages. He was definitely top 5. That is for sure. Thomas down low. Foul will be on Zach White. Is he just a little bit late to the spot? And Mount Gambier to get it back. 14 left on the shot clock here. As we come to you on a cold Friday night. This game was, I remember it well, Friday night, and it was cold. That's for sure.
And that's good defensive move there from Coach Anthony Stewart to put Terry Masunda's actually taking Tim Conrad. So Terry Masunda is a good, very good defensive player. So
now Jameson for 3 couldn't get that one to go after the ball nearly lost by the Pioneers, but now the Chargers come down the floor. Nichols all the way tries to go over 2, rejected by Jameson. Tipene off and running for the Pioneers. Back to Jameson, puts it up, gets it off glass, and great play there by the Pioneers.
And he's a big body, Jameson, and that's a great drive that he just did then. And like there was a fair bit of contact, and it was a good defensive play by Zach White, so a great no call from the referees.
So Moller, thinking about it, backs Thomas down low, turnaround jumper, and Moller gets that one to go.
That's all class, isn't it? Like there's not much more Thomas could do defensively. He did everything he could, but that class of Craig Moller to get that shot in was great to see.
So Thomas inside, over White, yes. Nice little baby hook shot there by Lewis Thomas.
And at this stage, by knowing how well Lewis Thomas played in Tasmania for the Hobart Chargers, and then he continues on the clubs on the mainland in Seaboard, very unlucky to not have to be a development player at NBL level at this stage already, because he's probably just got to build up a bit in the weight section, but his all-round game is really good for a big.
As Nichols knocks down the mid-range too, coming off the dribble there.
So Nichols has really ramped up his offensive firepower in this second half now.
Burden couldn't get that one to go. Had to change hands in mid-air there. Moller now has to kick it out. Here's Muo. Now Nichols. Nichols thought about it. And now Nichols goes baseline. Great drive by Trey, but couldn't get that to go. Moller with the O board. Kicks it out to Muo for 3. Yes. Nothing but net for Mafang Muo.
It's really good. I think before the game we talked about travels and stuff. It's nice to know. I think Moo travels nearly every time he gets the ball. But, it's a game of entertainment as Tim Conrad gets another 2 points. But, as we said, it's great to see both, Conrad hit these big shots, but also Madiang Moo get involved, because he's a game winner. We've seen it time and time again, watching and support, and, the Hobart team come down to the crunch. You want the ball in his hand if there's a game shot on the line.
So Masunda with it now. Goes to White inside. White over Thomas. Can't get that one to go. No call by the referees. Conrad coming down the floor here. Conrad pulls up. Ooh. Stops Provs. Couldn't get that to go. White with the rebound. And there's a few bodies everywhere. Mio picks himself up and Nichols brings the ball down. So Nichols just getting Hobart into a bit of a quick horn set here by the sounds of it here, Glenn, and gets the on-ball screen. Nice pass in the Moller for the two-hand jam.
And they do work really well together, don't they? They're very structured. But, as we said, they've got a very classy first 5 here for Hobart. So, the coach should be expecting a lot out of this team with the experience that they've got.
So, Tipene.
Good screen there by Lewis Taylor.
By Lewis Thomas. Luke Jameson. Shout out to Louis Taylor, who plays SBL.
And Louis Taylor doesn't go inside the 3-point line.
No, he certainly doesn't. So good. The score there by Mount Gambier, and we're just getting the floor wiped up. Cam Brown coming into the game. He's back in.
I think they need a defensive stopper. They really need to ramp up their defence, and Cam Brown might just be the person for Hobart to really help that defence get back on track, because at this moment, Mount Gambier seem to be scoring at will.
Yeah, it's been a very kind of free-flowing type game where the shots are just dropping for both sides. It's been really good from a fan point of view. Nichols now looking to go inside, pulls up from the top of the key and gets it to go.
And Trey Nichols did that move many times over the year, and it's really hard to stop. He sort of steps into his player, and as soon as they commit backwards, he takes his step back, and he's got an open shot.
Burden with the response.
This is I don't know if I've seen a game back then where both teams were shooting so well from the field.
Now, Muo with the 2, or did he go out of bounds? I think he went out of bounds. So, yeah, no, the referees have waved off. Muo, as the referee waves Lewis Thomas over to the side, the referees have waved that one off as Muo run out of real estate.
And it was good defence there. I think the defensive player just put enough pressure on Moo, whether there was a little bit of contact, but not enough for a foul to get him over the baseline. So, good defensive play from Mount Gambier.
So, Burden with it here.
Good screen again.
So, Burden, now Thomas gives off to DeWitt for 3. And another 3-pointer for the Pioneers as Kane DeWitt knocks it down.
Madiang Moo really has to step up in defence there. That wasn't the greatest defensive play from him then. And I'm sure Anthony Stewart really wants his players to either switch on a screen or get through the screens. It just has to be some pressure on him as Craig Moller
knocks down a 2, and the margin is back to 3 points. 69-66 is our scoreline as we were able to get a quick look at the monitor. Lewis Thomas with another play and gets it to go.
He had a very good game, hasn't he?
He certainly has, and that extends the lead by 5. You make it 6 here.
And Craig Moller wasn't overly happy with the call. However, there was contact, and he wasn't in a straight line, so I could call from the referee.
And that's Moller's 4th personal foul. It just sort of paddle go up at the bottom of your screen, folks, and that was foul number 4.
That's massive because Craig Moller is such an important part of the Hobart team. So if Mount Gambier are able to foul Craig Moller off, then they would definitely have an advantage at the latter end of the game.
And the lead now out to 6. Substitution being made. Luke Chamberson coming in. I'm just seeing, and Lewis Thomas will now have a breather.
So the other thing too is Craig Moller's a very smart player. I think he is a player that can play on 4 fouls, even though it's the 3rd quarter. Whereas some players you've got to take him out straight away. So I don't think he's going to put himself in a position to get a 4th foul. However, he's just got to be so careful.
So Nichols now Hobart trail by 6 here. Can they make it 4? Nearly got the lucky bounce, but now foul on the play. It's going to be on the Pioneers. Looks like that's on, I think it was going to be on Jameson or DeWitt or someone's claiming a foul.
It be number 6 or number 8 there.
It's on Jameson.
Yeah.
It's on Jameson. So Masunda to restart us from the baseline here as we're looking for quick hit play. Now Muo thought about Masunda, goes to Moller instead. Moller puts it up. Brown there for the tip. Now, did he get fouled on the shot? He did. So, yes, the referee waved it off. Now, that foul is on Kane DeWitt. So, it's going to be Craig Moller to the line for 2.
I was going to say, I didn't think Craig Moller would miss a shot that far unless it was... I thought he might have thrown it off the backboard as an assist to Cam Brown, but there was obviously contact, and that's why he's at the line for 2. So, Moller's had racked up the points in this game again, as he did all season, and been really good at both ends of the court. I think the biggest thing is it's what team is able to shut down the opposition defensively. That's where it's going to come down to.
And he knocks down a second there, Glenn.
Both teams have got the firepower on the offensive end.
Oh, they certainly has.
Slowing them down,
So 4 points is our margin, 72-68, if my memory serves me correct. So Jameson now, DeWitt thought about it, pulls up from mid-range and gets that one to go. Nice shot by Kane DeWitt.
The screens at the top of the key, just inside the 3-point line, are really good for Mount Gambier, and it's allowing their guards or whatever players got the ball up top to get that easy shot without any pressure on them. So great offensive teamwork from Mount Gambier as Moller gets another rebound. It looks like he was pushed in the back there.
Yeah, foul on the play. Referee David Farmers has the call. So
Tim Conrad picked up that one.
Yeah, I think it might have been on Conrad. So again, baseline ball for the Chargers. As we'll look for a quick play here. Nichols puts up the shot. Gets fouled. It goes, and Trey Nichols will go to the line for one. What a shot by Trey Nichols.
Yeah, so I don't think number 42, Kane Jewett, let Trey Nichols land. I didn't actually see the foul.
So there was so when the shot went up, the Kane kind of came in as Nichols was coming down from his jump. You must let the shooter land.
Yeah, no, good call.
So
good call.
Trey
Nichols can shoot. Like, he doesn't, as we said, he doesn't need much space. And he's hit a couple of big shots, a number of big shots in this game, but in the third quarter he's hit some really good shots.
And Trey knocks down the shot, and we're now back within probably 3 or 2 points here now as the Pioneers will look to respond on this play. Thomas at the top of the key. Jameson goes one way, then the other. Now Thomas. Tipene mucked up the handoff there. As he works his way through now, goes over Nichols, no call there.
Nice hands from Nichols there, and good hustle from Trey
job.
Nichols.
And Moller picks it up, so Hobart now off and running as they slow it down a bit, or Moller will continue, goes to Brown. Good ball movement. Masunda works his way. Nice fake and step
drive.
Through. Beautiful work by Terry Masunda.
Just so quick, left or right, and that's been, he's been a really good player for Hobart for many years, and that shows why.
Eric Burden for 3 as the scoring continues here at the DEC.
I think every time I try to say something good about someone, the other team comes back and hits threes or dunks or something. You've got to talk quicker.
Yes, get your comments in quick, Glenn, because this is certainly a game of high-scoring affair. As JB would be saying bang about 10 million times if we had him on commentary. if we had him on commentary. Meanwhile, Moller can't get that one to go. Hello to JB if you're watching. JB, of course, in somewhat semi-lockdown and can't be with us tonight for this recording of commentary.
Yeah, it'd be good when JB gets back and we just get basketball back. That's all we want.
And
our life back, I guess.
Yes, we want some normality, Glenn. But it's great that we can obviously, and we'll speak about this at the end of the game, great to be obviously doing these flashback games and commentating them and not remembering the result either from these games.
No, it's really good. And obviously we do some other basketball stuff as well. So it's really good that people get to wind back and watch something from the past, and it's just great memories for everybody, and also for us. It allows us to do something we love and commentate, like the Hobart Chargers in this instance, the Siebel or NBL 1 or NBL whatever it is, and watch these talented players on court. And the crowd were really lucky on this night, obviously, because it's been a cracker of a game.
Absolutely. The fans getting their money's worth here as Luke Jameson had that one rattle out, but the O-board comes back to the Pioneers. Conrad, who's had the hot hand tonight, but turnover there, Moller. Now Nichols, back to Moller. And they try to go back to Nichols and couldn't get that to go. Conrad coming down the floor here, putting on some moves over Cam Brown.
A lot of pressure. Good defence from Cam Brown.
He couldn't get
Hobart
that
just
stick.
mucked it up down the other end. There was too many passes. It's just one pass. They've all got the skills to go one-on-one. So
Masunda, nice pass. Brown, beautiful floater. Couldn't get that to go. Brown with the O-board. Now Masunda.
Masunda open. Could have shot that one. However, did the team thing and resettled the play.
And that's what they probably need to do. Shot clock at 5 here. Mio needs to get busy. Now Masunda for 3. He's missed everything. Now, is that a shot clock violation?
Anthony Stewart
or
thought it was, and Nathang thought it was. So the referees are going to jump in and talk to each other there.
Stewie is fired up. Assistant coach Nate Berridon had to kind of pull him aside there and say, just settle down. Shot clock at 14. So they're going to call a reset and Hobart to get on the baseline.
And that's good that common sense prevailed there. It's just a matter of the referees coming together, and where the referee in one spot couldn't see if it hit the ring or not. So it was great communication from the refs, and Hobart have got it for another 14.
So Muo, now Moller, back to Muo. Muo thinking about it, has to go to Nichols. Nichols gets through a couple. Nice pass in the Moller. Rejected by Thomas or Conrad, but it was done illegally, according to the referee, Andrew Johnson. It's going to be on Lewis Thomas.
Not happy. Not happy.
Moller will go to the line for 2.
Bit his tongue. Didn't say anything. And, Hobart are now against Zach White is going to take Craig Moller out for a sub. Mount Gambier in his own defence. So they're just trying to slow down Hobart's inside play, I should say. And it's, their defence has been really good. It might also be they might be playing zone just to give themselves a bit of a break,
rest, yeah.
a bit of a rest, because they're only running the 7 or so players. So
Moller misses the first there. So Zach White will come in if he makes this second free throw. It looks like it's only a few seconds left, so they're just going to try to give Moller a few more seconds of a breather, and substitution being made now. So, yep.
So Moller's had a very good game thus far, and he's got 4 fouls, as you said before, Ronnie. So it's probably a very smart time for Anthony Stewart to take him off, just so he doesn't, pick up a foul in this last however long there's left of this third quarter.
So last play here, there's only a few seconds remaining, Glenn. Stewie really trying to get his team up the floor. Not happy with that, this defensive possession. Burton lost a handle. Jameson now has to put up, it goes cross-court. Tiffany, and they couldn't get that one to go. And three-quarter time sees a 2-point ball game. Mount Gambier lead by 2, 77-75.
And obviously, Anthony Stewart wanted to slow the ball down on that last play, and Mount Gambier got a bit of an easy pass. However, Trey Nichols made up and played some tight D. So he did all he could to redeem, where he sort of didn't get to in the first play, if that makes sense.
Moller to kick us off in the fourth quarter with a 3.
It's pretty handy when you got a 6'7", 6'8" guy that can knock down 3-pointers and the centre of your team. So
absolutely. Hobart lead it by 1 as well too, 78-77. Burton inside of Thomas.
It's been a great battle between the two, hasn't it?
It certainly has been, Glenn. And of course, Moller playing with 4 fouls could only just stop and put his hands up there and not do much about it. Meanwhile, Nichols gets a lucky roll there.
That's a great roll there. And I think that's a strategy, or, Richard Hill, coach of Mount Gambier, has said to his team, let's get into Lewis Thomas and go from there.
Tim Conrad knocks down another jumper. Every time, Glenn.
Tim Conrad, he'd have to have at least 25 points, I'd say, from here. He's pretty much been unstoppable.
As Nichols knocks down the 3, this is shot for shot at the moment, Glenn.
And that was interesting. He didn't get to land again, but there wasn't as much contact as the last one where he got fouled by DeWitt. So, the offense is, they've got to rely. They're relying on their outside shots, but they're hitting them. So all class that we're seeing on the court as here we go again.
Conrad
that's a tough shot.
Nearly. Again, Conrad has made those many times in his career.
And that's a shot you'd expect him to take because he's shot so well throughout the game. So.
That is correct. So Nichols puts up the shot and gets it a go. Trey Nichols with another 3. Oh.
And he's a gun, absolute gun, Trey Nichols. Under pressure, he always steps up, and it doesn't matter how big or how small the defensive player or how much pressure he's got on him, he can still make those shots.
So Jameson, this game is going back and forth here as the foul's being called on. Nichols is claiming a foul, might be on Zach White. Richard Hill's going to go for a timeout here. Foul's going to be called on Zach White. Trey said he fouled him first, but not to be. So Hobart out quickly, and Hobart out to a 5-point lead, 86-81. We have 8:06 remaining left in the fourth quarter.
Be interested to see how many fouls Zach White has now, because I think that's why Trey Nichols did put his hand up to say it was him that fouled. Zach White was a bit confused as to why it was on him. However, there were hands in there everywhere.
I think that's Zach's second foul. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So nothing to worry about.
No, and I mean Trey has no fouls at the moment. So
yeah, and I think the refereeing's been really good. Again, you won't get myself or Ronnie ever really saying anything about because we were referees.
Well, I'm a former civil referee, so I exactly know what these guys are going through, Glenn. So they've been doing it. They've done a good job tonight.
They have, and it's in this game they've just let the players play, and I think the coaches. Sometimes the coaches want the best for their team, and it's natural for Coach Anthony Stewart.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Or Richard Hill to question things, but I think they'd both be happy with the way that the game's been refereed tonight. So well done to the referees thus far. And in saying that, probably what will happen is there'll be a bag, there'll be a controversial call now.
Oh no! Don't say that, Glenn. Don't say that.
So it's really good. And there's a couple of Tasmanian refs as well as I think.
Yes,
it's
there's a
Victorian
referee
ref.
from Melbourne who, unfortunately, I've forgotten his name. I was trying to look his name up before we got this recording going tonight. So apologies for forgetting his name. We'll get back to the play here as Burden puts up a mid-range too. That doesn't go for him. So Moller with the rebound, and Hobart coming down the floor now.
So Hobart have, as we said, they've been down probably just before half time for the quarter, so they've bridged it back now, and they're up 5 points, I believe it is now. So it's just a matter of whether they can maintain that. But the firepower, like Lewis Thompson and Thomas and also Tim Conrad, have just they've really stepped up their game tonight. So whether Hobart can stop them in the fourth quarter is yet to be seen.
So Nichols now with it, nearly slipped. Nice spin move, and able to draw the foul on Jameson, and Trey Nichols will go to the line for two. No, it's actually on Tipene.
And 2 shots there, so Trey Nichols sort of had nowhere to go then after. So I think he was pretty lucky that he got fouled, because he had some pretty big defensive players right in front of him after he did a spin and a 360 and whatever other pretty cool moves that he did to draw the foul.
So Nichols will go to the line for two. Nichols has been having a sensational game so far.
Very good game.
He'll be right up there near the 30. He'll be right near the 30s now, I reckon, Trey.
I'd have to be.
He's certainly putting on a performance.
And his shots have been really good. The ones that he's taken have been really good time shots. Like, he hasn't forced it or anything like that. So he's had a fantastic game. It's not just about his offense either. Like, I think someone like him that's so potent at the offensive end, it really takes away from all the good stuff that he does on court in general, his defence and his passing and so he's a really good all-round player.
So Jameson with the ball and puts up the mid-range too and gets to the go. Nice shot there by Luke Jameson.
Great shot from a 6'8", sort of a fadeaway jumper. So it's great to see, and it'd be nice. Hopefully Jameson will get another couple more big shots in as this last quarter continues.
So Moller now back to Nichols. Shot clock at 8 here for the Chargers. Moller thinking about it. Shot clock at 5. Now Hobart do need to get something going. Moller has to go from the car park of the DEC. Couldn't get that to go.
Tough shot. And he didn't quite have his feet set compared to when he normally hits a 3-point shot. So if Moller's set, his 3-pointers are pretty accurate.
So Tipene thought about it. Now Thomas. Thomas goes all the way over Moller and gets that to go. Richard Hill not happy with something there. He's pointing his finger there, Glenn. I'm not sure, but we'll take the 2 points anyway.
I think he was happy with Thomas taking the ball one-on-one and scoring, but I'm not sure if there was a screen or someone didn't scream within that structured play that he wanted to happen. So. But I think it's really good that they've identified Moller as the one that can't foul, and they're putting trying to get the ball to Lewis Thomas as much as they
Conrad
can.
knocks out another jumper. He wanted a foul on that play. He got the lucky roll
and
there,
it looked
Glenn.
like he did get fouled. I was a fair way away, but it did look like there was a fair bit of contact.
Zach White can't get that one to go. Ball went out of play.
In. So there's a fair bit of contact both ways, but if it's not being called both ends, it's okay. I think that there's perfect. Like, there's no complaints from refs. The players, I'm sure that Tim Conrad, after thinking he was fouled at the other end, come down here, there's a contact at the other end, it wasn't called, he'd be pretty happy with that consistency of the refs in that instance.
Hobart to restart here on the baseline. A full 24 they've got to play with as Masunda tries to find Radcliffe and does so. Now Moller with it. And back to Nichols. So they're working the strong side here. Nichols with a little step back. That's short. Moller gets the O board. So Hobart looking to reset here. Moller one-on-one with Conrad. Goes over it now. Short there. Thomas with the rebound. Goes down the floor. Jameson's open, but Burden now goes to him. Now Thomas putting on some moves. Goes over Muir. And another 2 there for Lewis Thomas. And Anthony Stewart's called timeout. And Mount Gambier retake the lead 89-88 with 5:37 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
So it looks like a 7-2 run there from Mount Gambier in the last probably 2 or 3 minutes. So Anthony Stewart just wants to talk to his troops and get them to get back on track. So he's not happy with a few things there. And I think that the teamwork from Mount Gambier has just been great. Like, as we talk about not having imports and and I think the imports are fantastic around the league, but to see a team be so competitive with such a great outfit that Hobart have with 2 imports is really good. Is really good to see, and I think both teams are really well coached, really well drilled, and the coaches are really they're running some structured plays, and we're getting to see a lot of one-on-one plays, which is great for the crowd, and and for the fans, and for us as commentators to talk through the game, I guess. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and as we can see, Rex Serrano doing his thing. I don't know, he's got a prop there or something. So good to see Rex entertain the crowd. So it looks like Rex is going to throw something up, but
what was that?
I have no idea. Yeah, some of the best props in the league he does. But anyway, we'll get back to the ball game. Craig Moller there having a quick talk to refs about something that he wasn't happy with. So he's just getting an explanation from referee Andrew Johnson.
Yeah, I think he got hit on the last play down the offensive end. He might have got hit in the face, but it's so hard. And like as a referee, when if a hand does come near a face, you've got to determine did it. You just don't know until you sort of see the reaction of a player. But Craig Moller did the right thing and went to the ref and said, "Can you watch out for it next time, mate? I got cracked and you missed it." Did it the right way.
Nice play there by the Chargers as the ball got to Moller there on the final play. Now, who's this going to be? Mount Gambier are going to get it back. Everyone claiming their court case here, and now it's going to go back to the Chargers, I think. And
so referees sort of thought it was going to go either way. They both pointed different directions. However, it was pretty clear that the referee that was closest to where the ball went out was able to determine the right decision, and nobody complained. So another good communication between the referees.
So the Chargers will get it back after both sides put in their cases. And Moller to get us going here. Now Nichols one-on-one with Tipene here. Now Radcliffe. It's going to go to Masunda, but Moller gets it instead.
A lot of contact there for Moller.
Moller puts it to the floor, foul on the play, and it'll be on the baseline here. So it's going to be on Timmy Conrad for a hold, and Hobart to get it back as BJ Radcliffe gets some instructions from the coaching staff.
Yeah, I think that was a good defence there. A good call. There was a lot of contact there, and they've really got onto it. They've let the players play, and then when the contact's gone outside the rules, they've pinned it straight away. So the players sort of know where they stand with the refs, I believe, in this game, which is really good. And it's a matter of whether the coaches can accept that anyway, because it's always a foul when you're the coach and your team and one of your team members gets a little bit of contact against them.
So Nichols now Moller goes all the way, gets fouled, and this will be assessed on Lewis Thomas, and ball will be on the baseline.
Yes, that's another good call. It was really clear that the contact was made to stop Craig Moller from getting a basket. So quick referee call. Moller was not in the act of shooting, so it was a good call at the right time.
As Muo for three, and he gets the three to go. Great shot by Mafang Muo.
Big time player, in the SEABL league, he hits all the big shots when he needs to for Hobart.
Conrad
does it again.
Two.
Tell you what, Tim Conrad, you're making me look like a deal, but every time, next time you touch the ball, I'm just going to not talk.
Moller puts it to the floor. Now Masunda inside. Now Radcliffe open and can't get that to go. Thomas with the rebound. As Tipene comes up the floor, now goes inside Jameson. Jameson with the remarkable reverse. Kane DeWitt likes it from the bench, and why not? As this is a seesawing affair in this last quarter.
And I think Hobart could have applied a bit more pressure in that play.
Beautiful move by Trey Nichols. What a move that was.
Trey Nichols and Tim Conrad have been the two, and there's been a few other players as well. They've been the two really dominant offensive players in this game.
Tipene short on that shot. Moller gets the rebound. And, of course, Moller's still on 4 fouls, so he has to be careful
and
here.
He's done really well to manage being on 4 fouls for so long.
And a foul on Eric Burden.
Yeah, Eric Burden's trying to put as much pressure on Trey Nichols as he can. And
Zach White coming in now. BJ Radcliffe going out. 3:49 remaining. It is 93 apiece, Glenn, as we can see on the monitor there from the score table bench.
It's a pity we couldn't see who was scoring what, but it'd be interesting to see whether how many Tim Conrad actually has by now, or Trey Nichols, or also, Lewis Thomas has had a fantastic game, all-round game, and Craig Moller has as well. So it's not just about scoring, but it's been good to see these guys put some pretty awesome baskets in during this game.
Foul on the play there as Nichols went baseline. So that looks like it's going to be on Jameson, and Nichols will go back to the free throw line.
I think the defence has picked up this half as well. Like, most people say defence wins games. Others just say, well, if we score more than the other team, we win. However, defence creates a lot more opportunities. It creates momentum as well. So I think defensively, it's lifted a lot from the first quarter where it was a bit of a run and gun sort of scenario. But these guys are just hitting everything, which is just awesome to see.
So Nichols at line for 2, misses the first.
He's normally a really reliable foul shooter, Trey.
Yes,
so he wouldn't have been happy with missing that. I reckon he would have been around the 85 to 90% free throw shooter for the year.
Well, he certainly would have been, Glenn, as he knocks down the second. So, and now we're just waiting for the ball to come back into play.
It's a good pressure there from Hobart. Just trying to slow things down.
So Tipene brings up the ball. He's up against Nichols.
Great defence from Nichols.
So Burden here at the 45 goes baseline. White there, equal to the challenge. Burden goes to the floor. Jameson with a two-hand wham bam. Thank you, ma'am, jam.
Nice one, nice jam, and that was a really good play. Like, I think it was Burden on the ground who had the ball, and Jameson just realised it.
Moller for 3,
here we go again.
And knocks it down.
So back
Moller.
the other end. Back the other end. I thought it was a great play from Jameson, and then obviously Moller hit that big 3 because I'm trying to pump someone up at the other end.
You might have to save it for later because we are in crunch time right now. Thomas couldn't get that to go. Nichols with the rebound.
Trey Nichols has racked up a few rebounds as well, so his all-round game has been very good.
He certainly has.
Has he got many rebounds?
He's got a few. He's got a few, Glenn. I'd say he's up to rebound number 4.
Yeah.
Only
for a little fella, that's not too bad.
As White now goes cross court, Masunda thought about it. Patient with it, goes
Nice
baseline.
drive.
Beautiful drive by Terry Masunda.
He's such a skillful player. He really is a team-orientated player. He can go one-on-one with the best of them.
Richard Hill has called timeout. Hobart take a 2-point lead, a 4-point lead now, so they update the scoreboard, 99 to 95.
And there's 5 team fouls for Mount Gambier, so that's probably why Hobart have probably been able to drive in as easily as what they could without probably having as much pressure applied in case they get, any fouls now is 2 shots.
Yes, that's right.
So we're in for a cracker. How long is there left?
About 2 minutes and 39 seconds, I'm pretty sure I just said, yeah.
This can still go anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still a little bit more scoring here to go, folks. So what a cracker of a game this has been, Glenn.
Oh, it's been sensational. We look at the individual plays, but a lot of the guards have, everyone that's come on the court's really played their part. It doesn't matter if you score 20 points or, if the ball's on the floor. A classic example is Eric Burden just before he was on the ground with the ball, and big Luke Jameson realised, sort of faked Madiang Mu one way and then went in for the big jam. So that's really good to see that players are helping each other out and they're having a good old crack. It's just a matter of now, with this time left, whether Hobart will try to drive as much as they can, or Mount Gambier going to foul, because they're in foul trouble. What's going to happen here? It's going to be an interesting end of the game. And how many are there any players in foul trouble other than Craig Moller? I'm not really sure, but
no, I think Moller's the only one in foul trouble here, Glenn. So let's see how these last couple of minutes ride out, as this has been a classic of a game here at the DEC. Jameson. Now Burden kicks it back out. Jameson open and knocks it down.
Big shot. Great
back to a
offense
1-point ball game.
Great offense there. And I think that offense was really good. Just the movement of the players, the screens, and they're getting open too easy. It's been a number of occasions throughout this game that
Moller for the response. Not there. Masunda with the O board. Now with Nichols as 99-98, and this game is going right down to the wire here as Nichols 1-on-1 with Tipene. Trey for 3 and gets it to go. Dr. Trey with a 3-pointer. Stewie wants some pressure up the floor as the Pioneers need to look to respond. Hobart back out to a 4-point lead.
And that's a great shot by Trey Nichols, obviously. He did that time and time again for the Hobart team. And, that's why he had the best defensive player on him for most teams throughout the year in 2018.
So Burden for the response.
Oh!
Yes. Nice shot by Eric Burden.
He's actually a very good player, isn't he?
He certainly is.
Player. Great defence. Hits the big shots, but there's no bigger than that one there.
Back to a 1-point ball game we go. White inside. Beautiful play there. Nichols to White on the layup.
I think White was a bit upset he didn't jam that one then. He didn't realise he had so much space at hand.
So Thomas inside kicks out. Jameson for 3 again, just short. Rebound, ball going everywhere. Jameson able to pick that up. Burden for back-to-back triples. Fouled by Moller, and that's Moller's 5th, and he is out of the game.
3 shots.
He will get 3 shots, Glenn. So Moller is out with 5 fouls. And Moller fouls out with 27 points, 13 rebounds and 4 assists, including a steal.
Yeah, he did have a good game, didn't he? And, as we said, all throughout the game, he's a very classy player, a true gentleman and an NBL player. And he also was able to represent Australia at a tournament in 2018.
During the FIBA Asia qualifying.
So that's just fantastic to have someone of his calibre and experience to be playing in such a game as Burden hits the first one.
Burden hits the first. So
and the opportunities that so many players have been able to get to play for Australia these days are fantastic. Years ago it was just the 10 players. Now they'll select younger players. I think it was a younger squad.
Yeah, it was a younger squad,
yes. So well done to Craig Moller on making the Australian squad and, champion player and person.
Burden knocks down all 3 while you've been pumping up Moller. Timeout being called here, Glenn. Let's get a look at the scoreline. We have 1:03 remaining, and we are tied at 104 apiece.
And the only thing there was that Moller should never have fouled him for the 3-point shot. So Anthony Stewart wouldn't have been happy. One, that he fouled 3-point shot. The other, that Hobart have lost one of their better players or one of their best players. And now they've got a minute left without Moller on the court, although they do have a lot of talent, so I'm sure they can replace the Craig Moller from one of the subs, hopefully from Hobart's perspective. But I think Mount Gambier they've just played a fantastic game. It's a really team-orientated game. They realised Tim Conrad was on fire, I'd say, for the first half. It's pretty much been all game. And they've really made plays for him. And then the other guys, like Lewis Thomas, has had a really good game. They went to him when Craig Moller had 4 fouls, and I'm sure Lewis Thomas would have a really good stats as well, scoring-wise and rebound-wise. I'm just wondering whether it's Mathang Mu that is the one that steps up for Hobart, or Trey Nichols come the last play, or probably the last play, because this is the time
let's have a look who they got on the floor here. Got? So Radcliffe, White, Masunda, Muir and Nichols.
Anyone could actually could hit a shot, but and who have Mount Gambier got?
Conrad, Tipene, Thomas. The camera's just staying with the play at the moment, so we'll see who the other 2 are in a second, Glenn. But Nichols has it now, so it's tied at 104 here. Hobart looking to retake the lead. This has been an absolute classic of a Seaball men's games here, folks. Hope you have enjoyed it here on our Flashback Friday game as we come to you from the DEC. Nichols.
Very good pressure. Double team there. Great
wide,
double team.
Good hustle by the Chargers. Muo has to put it up. Can't get that one to go to tip. Couldn't go either. Muo with the O board. Shot clock back to 14 as Nichols now has it. And Hobart will get into a quick set. Nichols goes, kicks it out. Radcliffe for the score. Yes!
That's a big
knocks
shot.
It down. Great
Radcliffe.
Shot by BJ Radcliffe. And Anthony Stewart is pumped. Great work by the Hobart Chargers. Timeout called with 25.6 remaining. And Hobart lead at 106 to 104. No, 107, 104, sorry. So a 3-pointer there. Great work by the Chargers. And a great clutch shot by BJ Radcliffe.
Yeah, great offense from Hobart. And we know, like being from down here, we know that BJ Radcliffe can shoot the ball, whereas I guess in the context of the game, BJ probably hasn't had a shot because he's come on and, he comes on and brings on energy to give someone a sub from the first 5. But we So we're aware that BJ can shoot. So he's hit a number of those shots, big shots in local games as well, and he's been a really good, he's really good under pressure. So that was a great play, but the game's not over
That's right.
as far as I'm concerned anyway, because if I keep talking, Tim Comrade will just shoot one from the timeout.
he could well do, Glenn. So
or one of the others. But I'm really impressed with all the players that have played in this game. I think that Mount Gambier have got such an even spread of players, and they've only ran 6 players, I believe it is.
Yeah, 6 players, only 2
players.
Yeah.
So obviously with Brett Hill, who's a NBL player, out injured, you bring him back into the team, and they're a playoff team straight away. So, or the potential to be a playoff. So, pretty exciting. It's a very exciting game, but it's just great to see from both teams the talent on the floor.
Crowd on their feet here now, as a small capacity crowd here at the DEC, and Tippinay to restart us off. So Mount Gambier need a score here to get back within 1 or tied at 107. So Burden.
A lot of pressure applied here, which is great.
Thomas working his way through. Thomas going all the way. Goes over.
Nice
Zach
shot.
White. Beautiful shot by Zach White. So timeout called by Anthony Stewart. And we're back to a 1-point ball game once again. 17.1 remaining. 107-106, Glenn.
So Lewis Thomas got that too, I think.
Yes,
over
Lewis Thomas.
Zach White.
Over Zach White.
There's not much more that Zach White could do.
That's right.
Defensively. It was just I'm not sure. It wasn't a hook shot. I'm not sure what it was.
Kind of a runner. It was one of those odd kind of runners that you don't see many players do.
No, it was very impressive whichever way. And what a fantastic game Lewis Thomas has had on his return back to Hobart. So, you can see why he was admired by the Hobart crowd. And he's just a tough player. So, I'm not sure how old he is at this stage, but it wouldn't it be great to see Lewis Thomas, who's worked so hard, try maybe get a potential NBL development player contract or a player contract, so in the years to come.
So what happens here on this one, Glenn? Did they let it play out, or did Mount Gambier foul?
So it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, 1-point game.
So obviously Mount Gambier have to.
17.1 left. Hobart will get it in their front court.
Front court, I wouldn't foul actually, and I think that they've got Hobart won't shoot with a second to go. So I think they'll shoot with a few seconds to go. But I just think the pressure, they've played really good pressure defence the whole game. So I don't think they'll foul unless Trey Nichols has got the ball up the top and just, he's running away from them. So unless they foul someone who they think is a weak link from the line, but I'm not sure if there is any weak links from the line from Hobart. So interesting. It'll either be a quick foul or they'll double team. Good defence.
Good work there. Yeah. Oh, turnover. Now, foul.
Unlucky there from
So I'm
Mount
just trying
Gambier.
to see what the play was there. Mount Gambier, hands in disbelief here. So, just trying to... So 2 shots will come here. As our audio just comes on finally in this ball game.
For 10 seconds left of the game.
So we from the Chargers TV crew from 2018, which does include me, JB, and a few others. We do apologise for not checking the audio before the game started. So we sincerely apologise. But anyway, here we go. The Muir at the line for 2. And can't get that one to go.
That is very unusual for Matty Moo to miss a shot under pressure with the game on the line. I've seen him win many a game in this situation. So
and knocks down the second. 2-point ball game, 108-106. Tippinay needs to get something up. Ball goes out of play, ball deflected. I think there's only about a couple of seconds to go here. So
we've got a 2-point game.
2-point game, Glenn. Quick shot's got to go up here by the Pioneers. Can they force OT or can they steal a win here? Let's see. Jameson, now Thomas. Crowd with defence. Tippinay puts it up. It's a miss. Siren in the background, Glenn, and Hobart win this one in an absolute thrill of a ball game. They win it 108 to 106.
And it would have been great if that 2-point shot had gone in, as both teams thought. That game deserved to go to overtime, really. I thought both teams played really, really well. It was a great, big shot from BJ Ratcliffe from Hobart to nail that three-pointer that probably got him over the line. So a very impressive game from a number of players, had great statistics. But I just thought the energy from both teams, regardless of what their stats were, I thought every player that jumped on court really, really played their part. And that was a classic game from a very good 2018 Siebel season.
Absolutely, we'll run some highlights through while we're talking here, because we'll go through some of the statistics here for the players. So Trey Nichols with 36 points, 7 assists and 4 rebounds. Next best, as we said, was Craig Moller with 27 points, 13 rebounds and 3 assists. And then Mafang Muo chipped in as well too with 17 points and a couple of rebounds there as well too. Tiri Musunda had 11 and Zach White had 12. So they had, I think I've just reeled off 6 players there in double figures.
Yeah, that's a good spread, isn't it?
For Mount Gambier, Timmy Conrad was the top scorer for everyone in the entire game. 39 points with 5 rebounds. Lewis Thomas had 25 points, 8 rebounds and 3 assists. And then Eric Burden chipped in with 15 as well too. And Luke Jamison also had 14 points as well too.
Yeah, so that's really good. That I suppose they only had 6 players, so we'll probably, I think early on in the game when I was saying, look, you need more helpers, well, I didn't realise they only had 6 players. So I thought all 6 players did fantastic for Mount Gambier. And I thought they were really well coached by Richard Hill. And it was unlucky that shot could have gone in at the end of the game. And Hobart played a great game. They ran probably 10 players, I believe it was.
Yep.
Some for not so many. However, they came in and gave energy minutes. Well coached by Anthony Stewart. And it was just a really, really good game. And I thought the refereeing was pretty spot on as well. So well done to the referees on allowing the players to play and let the fans enjoy the game.
And at that point in time, that was 5 wins straight for the Chargers as well too. So they were on a pretty good roll back then as well too, Glenn.
Yeah, and they ended up obviously winning a lot more. But
yes, they did.
Games like that, when you win such a close game like that you have to fight tooth and nail for every possession, it's really going to help both teams, I think, win or lose as the season progresses, So, and that could have gone either way. It's really sad, as I said, that it didn't get a chance to go to overtime because Mount Gambier played so well as Hobart did. So, great game. Big play from BJ Ratcliffe, who first shot I think he had of the game, hit that big 3-point shot near the end, and that allowed Hobart to be up by 3 points. And that was probably the difference, right at the end. So, but Trey Nichols was all class. And I thought that Tim Conrad was fantastic, but just so many. Lewis,
it was a range of them, wasn't
Lewis
it?
Thomas, Moller, Mathang Moo did some good things. I thought Tiri Musunda, when he needed to, he did some really good things. But he's a good steadier, so he doesn't need to score 20, although he could. So he's a real team player. So Zach White had a good game as well, and I thought it was really good of Jamison, Burden, Jewett. They all played really well. Tippin, there was no weak links really from either side. So I think Mount Gambier would have been in good stead, ready for when they played Northwest Thunder
on
the following
Saturday
night.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember that result, but if they play like they did against Hobart, Northwest Thunder would have had a pretty tough game to try and slow Mount Gambier down.
Wasn't any better for Mount Gambier on the following night, Glenn. I could tell you that Northwest won by 10, 87 to 77.
Won by 10. Cool. And
so there you go.
And I think that after such a full-on game, I think we talked about the road trip. If you can come down to Tasmania on a Siebel or NBL one trip and you can split 50-50, one win, one loss, you're doing pretty well because both teams are great, and if you get 2 from 2, it's a pretty damn good effort.
Glenn, thanks very much for your comments this evening.
Thank you.
And that will wrap us up for another edition of Flashback Friday. I hope you enjoyed that one. One of the most more memorable games of the 2018 Seville season for the Hobart Chargers as they went on their quest to win the SCABL Championship for the final time in the history within Australian basketball. So on behalf of our entire hard-working crew, and Glenn Fairfield, I'm Ron Riggs, and we'll see you next time on Chargers TV.